Knicks family, what's popping with you? I know what's popping with you. The Knicks got a big win tonight over the Milwaukee Bucks, ladies and gentlemen. So far, obviously, the biggest win of the season. The Knicks finally played a 48-minute game. You know what I'm saying? That's been what Tom Thibodeau's been asking for who knows how long, for them to play a 48-minute game, and they did that tonight over the Milwaukee Bucks. The Knicks were like the Monstars. They stole all the Bucks' powers, and they did what the Bucks normally do. You know what I'm saying? So you got to give it up to them. They were led by none other than Elfrid Payton tonight, ladies and gentlemen. He heard all the chatter. He heard all the talk. Elfrid Payton tonight had 27 points, 7 assists. He did have 3 turnovers, but I think we can forgive him because he was 12 for 16 from the field, and he was 3 for 3 from the three-point line. Elfrid Payton definitely led the charge tonight. Then you had Julius Randle. He had 29 points, 14 rebounds, 7 assists. If a couple of people make a couple of open shots, Julius Randle could have had a triple-doubles, 8 for 17 from the field. Then you had Barrett. He had 17 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists. Alec Burks almost had another 20-point night. He had 18 points, 5 assists, 2 rebounds. He was 5 for 7 from the field, 4 for 5 from the three-point line. He was 4 for 5 from the free throw line. The Knicks played well. Frank Ntilikina, he came in, played some backup point guard. He was 4 for 4 from the three-point line, 3 for 8 from the field. Oh, I'm sorry, 4 for 6 from the field. That don't even make sense. That was a mark moment right there. You can't be 4 for 4 from the three-point line and then 3 for 8 from the field. That was a mark. That was a who's mark moment. But anyway, he was 4 for 4 from the three-point line and 4 for 6 from the field. He had 12 points. He gave us some valuable minutes at the backup point guard spot, ladies and gentlemen. Even Kevin Knox played aggressive tonight. He had 7 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists on the night. 1 steal, 1 block, only 1 turnover. Good game from the New York Knicks all around, ladies and gentlemen. They shot 59.3% from the three-point line. They shot 54% from the field. They hit the glass. They had 56 rebounds tonight. They had 27 assists on 46 shots. It's good. And they only had 15 turnovers. Tom Thibodeau would probably likely to be a little bit less than that, but, you know, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. The Knicks played well. Very well. And we'll see if they're going to be able to duplicate this performance. But, yo, I know we got a group ready to talk about tonight's performance. It's a night to celebrate, ladies and gentlemen. Big shout out to everybody who's on Facebook, Twitch, Sportscaster, and, of course, YouTube. Let's get to everybody and let's talk. Fellas, what is popping with you, man? We finally got us a win this season. I know everybody was afraid. And before we started this week, we asked the question, what would be a good week, you know, over this 3-game stretch? Only one person said, you know, we could possibly go 3-0. I'm not even going to say who that person is. You know, that person knows who he is. He does have his hood up, and he is laughing. All right? But that's okay. 1 and 2 was, you know, pretty much the consensus on, you know, what would be a good record during this stretch. We went 1 and 2. Wasn't the team that we thought we would beat, but I'm okay with that. I don't care who it is. We got to win against a good team. You know what I mean? And we put together 48 minutes. That was the big question. After halftime, I think everybody had the same question. Can the Knicks withstand the run that the Bucks are going to make in the third quarter? And the Bucks came out and tried to make a run. They caught, you know, I think it was 17-point lead or whatever. The Knicks had 16-point lead. They cut it down to about 12 or 11. But the Knicks withstood it. They withstood it, and they came back, and they ended up taking, like a 20-point lead into the third quarter. Right? And
25.
I think it was a 20-point lead going into the third quarter. They had a 25-point lead in the fourth quarter. Come on, man. Get your math right. Get off the short bus. You got the big yellow shirt. I knew there was a reason why you wore that big yellow shirt tonight. I knew there was a reason.
It's orange. It's orange.
It looks yellow to me. Anyway.
You colorblind.
Anyway, they withstood the run that the Bucks made in the third quarter, which was big. And I think even for the Knicks, it was big for them. I think once they withstood the run and they were able to take the lead back up and extend the lead, I think after that point, they felt like themselves. They got over the hump, and then the game became easy to them. I think that they were looking at it themselves like, yo, are we going to be able to hold this lead, continue to fight throughout this third quarter? And there was a point there where I think everybody was a little bit nervous. Tom Thibodeau called a timeout. And then, they come back out and they extend the lead. And at that point, I think they kind of had the game in hand, and they felt like they had the game in hand. So big shout out to him, man. And the Elf of Wall Street. The Elf of Wall Street. He gave a big middle finger to everybody. Let's just be real about it. He gave a big middle finger to everybody. You know what I'm saying? Played a really, really good game tonight. And, to be honest with you, he kind of spearheaded the entire thing from the beginning of the game. Not because he hit some shots, basically, right? He went to the basket a couple of times. His first time he went up, he put it in. He hit a couple of shots, and I think that kind of spearheaded things right there. Because now, even if he ended up hitting threes. He was 3 for 3 from the 3-point line. But even before then, because he was hitting shots, it made him a threat. Changes the entire game. So let me start with Big Bubba. Big Yellow Bubba.
Hey, what's going on? It's
30 seconds, man. Okay. Give me 30 seconds. 30 seconds on your initial reactions, because, we don't got, we don't need a whole diatribe. 30 seconds on your initial reaction, man.
First thing first, shout out to you, Sam. Shout out to everybody. Listen, man, can't complain. Knicks, great win. Everybody played great. Literally played 48 minutes what we wanted. RJ Barrett had a bounce-back game. Elfrid Payton, bounce-back game. Talk about Frank later, great game from him. Everybody was on cylinder. Everybody played defense. The Knicks survived the third quarter, took that little run that they did, and responded with defense all night. Super proud of them. Let's get it.
All right. Devon?
Beautiful win. Hard defensive game. I like what I seen out there from all of them. Big up to Elfrid Payton. Regardless of starting or whatever, big up to Elfrid Payton. But I like with the intensity that we had, and I really like what we're seeing tonight. Big up to Mitchell Robinson for holding that paint down, not getting in foul trouble.
Oh, yeah.
Mitchell Robinson, that's the reason why he's starting. He can't, but that boy is legit down there in that middle. Brook Lopez would put him on ice today. You ain't getting nothing down there. Big up to the Knicks, man. And y'all hit that thumbs up for the chat, too. Quit playing. Hit the thumbs up. Let's get this thing popping.
Yeah, no doubt. Cornerstone? Is Elfrid Payton now a cornerstone?
Hey, man. He's on the brothership connection, all right? Doing it in 3D. Putting the glide in that stride and dipping that hip. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
I was so pleased with those guys, man. They did their thing tonight. I was really proud of all, and I'm proud of my boy going 4 for 4 from 3-point line. I was proud of Frank, man. He did his thing. He still looked just a little, tentative still, but when he was getting those shots, he was letting them fly, and I really like that. And just to say one thing about Milwaukee, they're gonna have some problems. This wasn't the same team that I saw last year. They lost, a chunk of players, and whenever you replace them with the Bobby Portis, that's going to be a thing of destruction. I don't think they're going to be as good as they were last year.
Portis had a pretty good game.
Yeah.
I mean,
but you know what I'm saying. But they lost. Who did they lose? They lost Bledsoe. They lost some other guys. That continuity they don't have. Maybe they'll pick up towards the middle of the season. But from what I saw last night, I was shocked. I really was. So
well, their bench doesn't look as strong. Their bench doesn't seem strong. Yeah. They're 1-2 on the season, just like the Knicks. So
yeah.
Savvy D.
Family. What's good?
What's going on, man? I'm looking for your 30-second breakdown and reaction.
I want to say hello I got my first raw reaction out the way. Now I'm gonna give you something more measured.
All right.
When, okay, all right. When, okay, when Frank Ntilikina, okay, hit his first 3-pointer, and then he came back, and Clyde said, Frank letting his handles loose now after that 3-point make, and he was wiggling his arms around. At Spider-Man. And he hit another one. Okay. And then he hit another one. Okay. And then he hit another one. Okay. I was already beside myself in the living room, dancing in front of the TV and bouncing off the walls. You know why? Because they had Giannis, Chris Middleton, and Holiday out there. And we still smacked them. Okay? And then Portis came out. He had a good game. Yeah, like he had a good game for us against Chicago when we got him. Yeah, right? Against his former teams, right? Still smacked them. Okay? We were beating them by 28 points.
We were.
It was halftime. Then it was the third quarter. And it was like, whoa. And we still smacked them. So all I want to say right now is everyone stay calm. Okay.
Including you, Tommy. Including you.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
How many wine coolers did you have, bro?
Zero. And you know why? Because I'm sober right now. Because all I need to be like this is for my Knicks to play good basketball. Julius Randle, all right, this has been past 30 seconds, but I'm going to be done right now. Julius Randle heard the chatter, and he came back from the summer offseason, and he said, I am going to make shrewd decisions. I'm going to listen to Thibodeau, and I'm going to make things happen with every moment I have my fingers on the rock. And Elfrid Payton heard the chatter online overnight, and he said, you know what? These fans ain't in the arena, but I'm going to still blast them with a game like they've never seen from the likes of me before. Name me one time in the past 15 years. No, actually, name me one time since the Carmelo era that we have played
bro.
Well,
that we have played like this.
Well, I mean,
where a guy gives you one and then another one and then another one like it's raining.
We passed the minute.
Yeah. Let me get to Julito, man.
I can't believe it.
This man is drunk off Nick juice.
I love you.
This man is drunk off Nick juice. Julito, man, go ahead, man.
Adios.
Tommy, listen, if you're going to tell us not to overreact, you got to start with you, sir. Okay? Start with you. I just want to first off welcome back, Sim. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the rest of the fellas here. Good to be back with y'all. If there are certain games that can possibly change the trajectory of your season, this is one of them. You beat a team that is projected to go number one in the East. They've had a 2-time MVP. To be honest, Julius Randle had him on the clamps today. He did his 1-2. Giannis is going to score. Giannis is going to he's going to have his highlight moments. And y'all know me. I really don't care for Julius Randle, but tonight I haven't been on for the last few nights because I said I ain't got nothing nice to say, so I ain't gonna say it. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. Julius Randle looked amazing tonight. Alex Burke is a person. He's usually the guys who play like Alec Burke on the Knicks. We usually trade him by the deadline. We need to keep Alec Burks. 20-point scorer at any given time. I love what Alec Burke is doing. RJ was also a little chill tonight. He didn't look horrible, so I'll take it. Now, Elfrid Payton, God damn it. You're gonna lose his starting spot to quickly, but that's the way to fight back, young man. Fight back,
right.
man.
You know what I'm saying?
27 points, Sim.
Yo.
27 points. All right, let me have a savvy moment. When he scored the first three, I was like, oh, snap. When he scored the second three.
Seriously.
Elfrid Payton hit 3.
We knew it was going to be our game.
Put him up in the banner, Sim. I'm happy for the win. Let's get it.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. Just like Julito said last time, get that man a max contract.
Give him a max.
Josh, go ahead, man.
First of all, salute to the chat. Salute to Knicks Nation. Well, you know me. You know how I do. I always got to, point out the negatives. I'm just playing. Listen, overall, great game. 130 points. That's a lot. We didn't expect to get that. We didn't expect to get that much from Elfrid Payton. Despite all the shooting, I just was excited to see the guys be disciplined on defense. In the beginning of the game, it was kind of like that. The first couple of games where like they were just leaving their feet and leaving their man, and they were getting beat backdoor. But they were very, very disciplined today on defense. Like, this is the best defensive game I've seen the Knicks play this current team. So if they keep this up and they're able to play defense like this, then we really have a shot at winning some games. With that being said, I don't expect the Knicks to shoot like this often, obviously. And I was completely wrong about Alec Burks. He's definitely, going to be that 20-point scorer that we need. Consistency is the thing now. Now it's about consistency. We know what these guys can do. This is the potential that all these guys have, but can they be able to be consistent with this? Can Frank and Kevin Knox be aggressive, going to the basket and getting their shots off? A lot of times they're very, very tentative. They don't want to shoot the ball. Frank had one possession in the game where he passed up a wide open jump shot. And I'm like, dude, shoot the ball. You're open. Have that confidence. You know what I'm saying? So as long as they continue to remain confident and just play aggressive, then I don't see any reason why, this team can't, win some games. So outside of that, it's a great win.
Okay, it's going to be hard for them to shoot 60% from three every night. You know that, but they don't have to shoot. They don't have to shoot 60% from three. Just be consistent. Shoot a consistent 36, 37% from three. Or somewhere around there, and I'll be happy. And get good play from that point guard. But that was literally the difference tonight. What I'm saying is getting good play from that point guard position. That's one of the reasons why they were able to shoot such a high percentage from three, because Elfrid Payton was a threat to score the basketball because he was hot. And then, of course, he hit a couple of threes. But even if he didn't hit those threes, he was still a threat to score. You know what I'm saying? And then when he's a threat to score, it makes it easier for him to find other people. You know what I mean? Which is one of the reasons why he had 7 assists. Is he going to do that every night? It's not going to be every night. Clearly, it's not going to be every night. You know what I mean? But if we could just get him to be consistently give you, he averages 10.7 assists. If he could just do that consistently, it's going to help the team out, a lot. Justin.
Can I give one quick chime on consistency? Look at the way Look at the way Kevin Knox has been missing the shots. I know that sounds weird, but look at the way he's been missing. It's not the same way he was missing before. That's a different kid out there. That's it.
Ooh, welcome, Steph. Ooh.
Is that a Mark Titan? Is that a Mark Titan?
Yeah, that's Mark. We don't know what Mark's talking about.
Take your medicine. We're going to get on you. Take your medicine.
Shout out to the Sim All-Stars, man.
I actually like that name. That's not a bad name.
Oh, I'm talking about Elfrid Payton and Randle, Sims All-Stars.
Exactly. I know.
Hey, you know what? That's cool. Cause I've been telling people about Randle. Like y'all gotta relax and just let Tom Thibodeau do his thing. But let me get to Justin first. I'll get to you, Mark. Go ahead, Justin.
I can't say no more than Julito said it, because he said it out there for us. 48 minutes of basketball, 48 minutes of no letdowns, especially in the third quarter when you thought the Milwaukee Bucks was going to try to make a run for it. Usually the old Knicks would have gave up that lead, and it'll be a tight game by the fourth quarter. Did not let up. Happy all around. I don't care. No negatives in my view. Everything was positive.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
Yo, Tim, I said it
Kev yesterday because he's the one that put Elfrid Payton down. I think one of his people saw the video. They showed it to Payton. Shout out to you, Cornerstone.
Yo, Tim, I said it in the chat, in the Yahoo Fantasy League chat. I said we got PTSD as Knicks fans. When we see a glimpse of hope, of light, we automatically say, oh, it's third quarter. We about to mess it up. Fourth quarter, we go. Nah, y'all, listen, I'll be reading The Secret. You know what I'm saying? It's all about manifesting the good.
One thing I'm proud of.
Manifest a good night.
There you go.
And we finished it good half.
No
Let's
doubt.
get it.
Are you familiar?
Nate. Real quick, 30-second, man. 30-second assessment.
Yeah,
Come to
man.
Mark.
Third youngest team in the NBA. This was a culture win. I mean, this is how we want to play. Aggressive defensively, able to shoot the three. Obviously not as high of a clip all the time, but at least make open shots. I think everybody was wondering if the Knicks were going to give that lead away. I mean, I was even watching the broadcast, and I was in the Bucks one, and they thought that they were going to nick it up. That was their actual words. They were waiting for the Knicks to nick it up. And so, hey, man, a young team gets a win like this. You can't be nothing but proud for them. Let's just keep it up. Simple as that.
All right. Mark, go ahead, man.
Right.
Go ahead, Mark.
Shout out to the defense that was on a string tonight. They was disciplined. That's what really won us the game.
Yep.
Because it took Milwaukee out their offense, a lot of force three. That's what you want to see. They let Giannis do Giannis, but they stopped the shooters. I rather you stop the shooters than you got to let Giannis play and stop the shooters, because when they start shooting, they get contagious. I try to find any little thing to just be negative tonight, but it was perfect. Like,
you can't do it. It was a good game.
Yo,
save that for another night. It was a good game.
To see Elfrid Payton have that horrible game, and for him to come back like this, it was a good night.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a good night. Your All-Stars was consistent tonight. The ball was moving. You know, the defense was there.
And like you heard in the broadcast how they talked about last night, Elfrid Payton stayed late after the game, got up shots, did this, did that, right? Like, that's a good example for a lot of your young guys, for the Franks and the Obies and all those guys to look and see, all right, you know what? He stayed late. He got some shots up so he can try to get his shot right because he wasn't playing well, wasn't hitting shots, wasn't scoring. And then, look, he had a good game. You know what I mean? And for Elfrid himself.
That's culture. That's culture.
For Elfrid himself, you know what I'm saying? It's just good. Like, okay, you know what? I know I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do. I see I'm getting all these messages on Twitter because everybody is tweeting me, telling me to get out of town, telling me that I suck and all of this. You know what I'm saying? That man probably couldn't sleep because he was probably getting buzzed. He was getting buzzed till 5 o'clock in the morning or something. You know what I mean? But for him to put in the work, and then bounce back and play very well, you know, that's a good thing. That's a good sign for him. It's a good sign for the Knicks.
Dumb Bum Brothers activated tonight. I ain't gonna hold you.
Yeah, let's give Tom Thibodeau a shout out on his first win tonight. Big up to the
no doubt. No doubt about it. Yeah, big shout out. Big shout out.
Oh my goodness.
The Tibbs effect is strong. Listen.
I say this.
Real quick,
I'm gonna say this. He kept them starters into the end. He kept them into the end because
he wasn't happy.
I don't know if that's going to work. I don't know if that's going to work.
He had to do that. He had to do that to make sure.
Allow, one at a time, guys. One at a time.
If it's garbage time, you need to allow your starters to take a break, especially on a back-to-back night. That's the only thing I can say I had to look at Tibbs sideways for.
And remember, Derrick Rose got hurt. Derrick Rose got hurt when he won like 20 in Chicago.
Hold up. Let's stick with one convo and one commenter at a time. All right. Go ahead, Josh.
I just said, piggybacking up what Julito said. If y'all remember back in Chicago, Derrick Rose got hurt when the Bulls were up by 20, and he left the starters in the game for some reason, and the game was well out of reach.
That was on Derrick Rose, the way he injured himself. You can't put that on Tom Thibodeau.
Yeah, you can't. Anybody can get injured.
I was going to say this about that topic. The garbage time window for the Knicks is not as large as it is for other teams now. Okay,
that's true.
You need to have certain assurances down the stretch to make sure that you can stymie any potential comebacks. When they emptied their bench, though, I feel like that was a good signal for us to empty ours.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that was.
I don't know. They were shooting threes when that.
Right. Yeah, you don't do that. You don't do something.
No, but the thing is, hold on. The thing is, because this team is new and they're trying to set a culture.
Right.
It's for a reason. It's for a reason to finish out the games. It's all about finish out the games, and that's what the Knicks did. You have to do that.
Young players too.
That's true. That's why I'm saying.
And none of these guys are significant. And none of these guys are significant as much as it was like Derrick Rose when he got hurt. Yeah. So it's, it's like
I think part of it was, he wanted to make sure he secured the win, and maybe he's not as confident. If you look at the bench, he didn't just have the straight up benching tonight. There was RJ was on the floor or Julius was on the floor, right, with those guys. So he didn't have just the straight up benching. He kept a starter in almost at all times tonight, and I think that was his thinking down the stretch. Like, I need to secure this. I need to get this. He probably felt like it's really, 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 really important that we close this out the right way, close it out strong. I think in the future, though, if they're blowing the team out, you probably will see that, because you've seen the dude, Craig, get his nose probably broke. You know what I'm saying? That's the last thing that you want from RJ. You know what I'm saying? Going to the basket, get his nose broke or something like that. And then, because with the talent that we have on this team, if you're going to have any kind of success anywhere at any time, we need every single piece. We don't have the luxury of having RJ to be hurt. You know what I'm saying? We don't have that luxury. So
this was a team game. This was a team game tonight. So it was. They gave us calls that we should have been getting for the first two games. That's another thing. It was giving us our calls when we played aggressive. And we hit our free throws, and we hit our threes. Listen, this team is different when your point guard is attacking on a 1-4 high. When Payton runs that and he gets to the cup, he's supposed to do that. How Payton was scoring tonight in the paint, that play that Thibodeau was running consistently for, he's supposed to do that every time. So now you have the other team's defense not standing still. They're moving just like we was moving them tonight. So if Elfrid Payton could just play with some decency like this, we look like an NBA team.
Well, let's see what happens. Cornerstone, go ahead, man. And then at the Cornerstone, you pass the mic to whoever you want to go next. That way, nobody jump in until he's ready to pass the mic.
No, what I was going to say was Elfrid looked like what he did last year as being aggressive, and I did not see that in the preseason and in these last two games. I think that is the real difference for tonight, in Elfrid Payton, because I didn't know what was going on. I mean, for the life of me, I don't know how he flipped the switch to being, I don't know how many field goals he had within the first two games to now having like 27 points. That's astonishing. So I'm hopefully this is the Elfrid Payton that we see going forward. And if it is, then I don't mind him starting and having, because Quickly is going to come back. So I don't mind Quickly backing him up, because if he plays like this is what I was expecting. I mean, when he was signed, I said, okay, we'll see. I know what I'm getting from him. We didn't see that in the preseason or the last.
Yeah. Well. Let me say this to you: we're not going to get this every night, right? We're not going to get this. We're not going to get this every night from Elfrid Payton. You know what I mean? We're not going to get this, but if we can get just some level of consistency of him making some shots, then it'll help the team out. But let's talk about RJ Barrett for a minute. he played a decent game. He bounced back a little bit. Right? He bounced back a little bit. RJ tonight, what did he have tonight? He was 7 for 17. He was still 0 for 4 from the three-point line. But he had 17 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists. He did a good job. He didn't bounce back and, drop 30, and that's good. He didn't have to. All he has to do is bounce back and have a good game. Strong game from RJ Barrett. I'm glad that he bounced back. He has to feel good about it. RJ Barrett played 38 minutes tonight. Right? A lot of minutes. Divine, talk to me about it, man. RJ Barrett bouncing back, got to be a confidence booster from him, right? Just talk to me a little bit about it.
Yeah, I think he did very well. I mean, despite his shooting still wasn't, like you said, from three-point range, he didn't force nothing. He stayed aggressive. I mean, he was rebounding, passing the ball. He had an all-around game, which is good. That's what you want to see because the brother's still a second-year player. But we don't want to put too much weight on a young man. He's not like he's been in the league 7 years. He's an all-star. The cat is still a second-year player. But I like what I see him from RJ, and I think he's starting to shape and mold his body. And I was excited. He played a good around game. I mean, I know his free throw come, but eventually, as everybody go through the next couple of days, the next couple of games. Like I said to y'all last night, give everybody about 10 games. They got to get a rhythm because basketball is a game of rhythm. Frank, game of rhythm. But RJ, I like what I'm seeing from RJ, man. He aggressive, and that's what you can ask. That's all you can ask for from a player like that with all them good players around him. Because Julius Randle, Burke, so everybody got to get their shots. But when he do get his shot, he going at that bucket, and that's what's up. He creating them fouls, and he going to the line. So I was happy with him.
Yeah. One thing that I want to see more of, and I'm gonna get to a caller, and I'm gonna come to Julito. I'm still not seeing. I'd like to see a little bit more of getting RJ in the post a little bit, letting him post up, creating a little bit in the post, getting some buckets, like clear out a whole side and let him go. Every once in a while, not all the time, because you don't want to have it, become a habit where the team is, just standing around and watching one guy all the time. But just a little bit. And maybe it's going to come later on. Maybe Tom Thibodeau just wants to get the team in the habit of moving the ball. Right, we're doing such a better job of moving the ball this year with primarily, with so many of the same players. Right, we're doing a great job of really moving that basketball. Like I said, 27 assists tonight on 46 shots. Great job moving the basketball. But I would like to see RJ get a couple of buckets where they just, isolate him on the side, clear everybody out, and let him go. Caller, you live? What's popping, man? Talk to me about RJ Barrett tonight.
What's up, man? How you doing? I called last week I called and I was talking about the, Elfrid Payton, not being able to take the shot because the defense then stays and clogs the paint. Mm-hmm. That was me and Josh was talking about how, he didn't really like that comment. But I want to talk something about, that impressed me a lot tonight is everybody came in, played a role, didn't try to do too much. And the part that impressed me is there's a lot of injuries. No Rivers, no Quickly, no Obi. That's the part that impressed me. You get guys, you run a tight 9-man rotation with guys that you probably wouldn't have in the game. You talk about Frank Ntilikina probably wouldn't be playing if some of these guys are healthy. You have no DSG. I just think that's what's impressed me. Everybody sharing the ball, you pick and pop, guys hitting shots, and Elfrid he's not gonna go 4 for 4, 3 for 3 from 3. But if he can get you, 15, 17, don't turn the ball over 7, 8, 9 times. I think that he puts you in a position to be successful. And what Julius Randle is doing, man, he really is making everybody better when he's on the floor. He's pushing to the paint, dishing out, putting guys in position to be successful, putting guys in position to do things that they do well, and making it easy for them. And Mitchell Robinson, man, I know he didn't. You look at the stat sheet, he didn't get you 20, 15 and 20 or whatever. But what the guy could do is clog the paint, make it hard for guys to push, and then if your defense is on the wing, these guys are not getting open shots. You let Giannis, you're going to get, Giannis Antetokounmpo is going to get 25, 20, 30, and 15 every night. But if you can stop everybody else around him, that's great. That's what you're dropping under. He's going to get 30 and 15, whatever. Just put it in the bank. But what the Knicks did today is what I thought they did in the first half against Indiana. I thought they played well. And yesterday, even yesterday, I thought they played a good game. I just thought the shots weren't dropping. They played a good game against Philadelphia. They just, and even Tom said it, Thibodeau, he said, listen, we had a good game. Their shots weren't dropping. I thought they played well. It's just, I think it's going to get much better when guys get healthier and you get Rivers and the bench is, the depth on this team is way better than I've seen in the last few years. And it's a young team, and the depth is going to be something that's going to help them down the stretch to win some games that they're not supposed to win, so to speak, like tonight.
Yeah, okay. I hope so. I hope so. And I hope it's going to be that next man up type of mentality, and guys can step up and step in because, Frank played tonight. He dropped his 12 points. It may not be every night that he's playing. It may be there's going to be more nights that he may not get burned. You know what I'm saying? But he's just got to be ready to step in and play when his number is called.
And one more thing, you guys are talking about the bench coming in, and for Milwaukee, the bench came in on the end of the game here about 8 minutes, and you guys talked about maybe the Knicks should bring in their bench. I honestly think the Knicks don't have that kind of luxury yet, where they can just empty the bench for 8 minutes up 20. And I agree with Tom there to keep the guys in, keep at least three of the starters in there to try to keep the pressure on Milwaukee. Okay, maybe a few minutes in to that fourth quarter, they miss some shots, he's still up 20, 25, then you start bringing guys in, to take over.
Right.
But the Knicks are not in that position yet where they can say, okay, with 8 minutes left, up 20, let's sit everybody down. You got to keep them moving.
Right, and it could have been a ploy. You know what I'm saying? Budenholzer takes everybody out, and then Tom Thibodeau puts in his bench, and then next thing you know, you see Giannis and Drew and Chris Middleton, getting up and getting in, and you don't have time to get your players in, and next thing you know, they go on a 10-0 run against your bench. You know what I'm saying? You never know.
For sure.
You never know. It happens that way sometimes.
I appreciate you guys. I watch you guys every time you're on. Divine. Josh, all you guys, I appreciate y'all. Good stuff. Some of you already know.
Appreciate you, man.
Let's go Knicks, man. We're gonna have a surprisingly good year, and it may not be 500, may be the surprise, but it'll be something that we can be competitive and we can sit and watch every night and be proud. And down the stretch, say, you know what, we're building for something bigger. And I'll tell you right now, the Knicks will be fighting for that 8th, 9th, 10th seed where you got to get into that bubble playoff situation.
I take it. I appreciate you, my man. I appreciate it. I'll take it. I will take it. Now, real quick, I want to look at RJ Barrett's shot chart. Right? If you compare tonight's shot chart with last night's shot chart, it's totally different. Right? RJ Barrett, I'm looking at the shot chart, and if you look, you can see the little green circles. Right, that's where he made his buckets inside the arc, right at the basket. He made one mid-range. He pulled 1, 2, 3, 4 3-point shots. Last night, I think he pulled 6. He was 0 for 6 or 0 for 7 or something like that. Then even inside, he struggled making it inside. Now that Philadelphia had a lot more length, but I think they did a better job of getting RJ the ball close to the basket tonight. To try to really get him going. Even in the beginning, though, he struggled a little bit getting himself going. But, when you get him inside close to the basket, he's going to be able to get to the line and shoot some free throws. And tonight, how many free throws did he shoot tonight? RJ Barrett tonight he was 3 for 4 from the free throw line tonight. Right? But you do a good job. You get him inside and let him shoot some free throws. He got some rebounds. He got 2 offensive rebounds. He's doing a good job battling for what he needs. And that's how you do it. You battle yourself out of a slump, if you want to call it a slump. I don't know if it was a slump. It was just one game. But Julito, what do you think, man? Will he be able to, I mean, obviously he's going to learn from this, but we don't want to see another 2 for 15 night from RJ. Can he stay consistent? He dropped 17, not a great night. can he stay consistent? A decent night, but can he stay consistent and be that 20-point guy? Because we're going to need 3 of them.
Yeah, I think he can. For a night where for the most part he was quiet, he scored 17 points, right? 7 for 17 tonight from the field. I think we look at it was the second game of the season last game, and he was going against probably the best perimeter defender, which has been Simmons.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, he's allowed to have one of those games. At 20 years old, he's not a player that you're gonna look at and say right now you're the superstar of a team. So he's allowed to be able to have a game where he scores 9 points on Ben Simmons. But I think if you look at his intensity, if you look at his aggressiveness, if you look at the only thing RJ Barrett is missing is a consistent 3-point shot and also maybe a variety of moves in the paint. Outside of that, with what he has right now, with him just being able to just score effortlessly without having those intangibles, we got to play on our hands, fellas. You know what I'm saying? RJ Barrett is going to be a really good player. This is his second year.
His first year, man.
First year he did it. Still right, Mark. Still a first year.
Jesus Christ.
Still a first year. He hasn't played 82 games yet. And yo, I just want to say this real quick, Sam. If you're in the chat, look at Josh's face throughout every time somebody is talking. His reactions are priceless. Owning up to being the villain of the Nothing But Knicks chat.
Hey, Sam, I wanted to say something, Sam.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
So RJ Barrett, right, tonight, again, I wasn't expecting like a 30, 40-point game, but like I love seeing with RJ tonight that he does everything else. Like, to me, with RJ, I'm not worried about the scoring. The scoring is gonna come. I'm more worried about the defense, the passing, the rebounding, and that's what he did tonight. He played good defense, good rebounding, got teammates open. He should have went to the line more. I'm sorry, the Bucks were hacking RJ, but he doesn't get the calls yet. It's okay.
Those are the same refs from last night too.
Yeah, but you know what it is too. Let's be honest, man. This kid, this is his. To me, I consider this still his rookie season. I know it's a sophomore, but he's still his rookie, and he ain't played 82 games yet. You go against Ben Simmons one night, and then you got Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton and Giannis the next night. That's four all NBA defenders right there.
Y'all forget Embiid too?
We're talking about, go ahead.
Like perimeter wise, those are all 4 all NBA defenders, and again, RJ's gonna have those kind of nights. But I'm just so proud of he did everything else. Like I'm really not worried about the scoring. The scoring is gonna come for RJ. I agree with you too. I would really like to see RJ play more in the paint. That's where he gets his bread and butter at. And he's stronger than a lot of these guys. Like, he's stronger than most of these NBA veterans, And I wanted to be more in the paint with it because he just can dominate in there. Like you said, don't get him don't get him comfortable. Don't do the mellow thing where, you give him the ball and you just sit there and watch him work. No, you got to move around too. But definitely want to see RJ in the paint more. I said it during the preseason, Sam, that I would love to see RJ kind of be DeMar DeRozan type player this year. I wouldn't be mad about that because DeMar DeRozan is a dominant player around that elbow and paint area. So I would definitely like to see him in that kind of situation. I mean, I hope he shoots better than DeMar DeRozan.
Well, just don't shoot like him. Don't shoot like him.
Right.
Don't shoot like him.
Yeah. Right now, he's getting a lot of his shots, and the reason why I mentioned that about getting him in the post a little bit is because a lot of his shots is coming off of Randle handing the ball off to him at the top of the key, and then he's penetrating down the lane. Like, that's where a lot of his shots. And pretty soon, that's not going to be enough because teams are going to figure out, okay, this is what they do. They hand off, and then the guard, penetrates and, pulls up a jump shot or does that or does that. And you're going to have to find some more ways, to get him the ball. And one of those ways, I think, is to post him up. and let him do some work then. I'd like to also see him use a pump fake every once in a while. Get those guys in the air because he gets right to the cup. You know what I mean? And, when you got 6'10", Ben Simmons, 7 foot Joel Embiid, 6'10", Dwight Howard, you got those tall guys down there. Tonight you got Giannis and Brook Lopez and all them guys. Throw a pump fake, get them guys in the air, see if they do a Mitch. Get them in the air, get them in, make them foul you or something. You know what I mean? Go ahead, Josh. I know Josh been bleeding to say something. I see him smiling. Go ahead, man.
So here's the thing. Here's the thing with RJ, right? And I'm not. This is not a knock to RJ, right? He's not an alpha yet. Okay, I'm just gonna call a spade a spade. RJ Barrett is not an alpha yet, and I mistakenly, and I'm admitting my mistake. I mistakenly said that, as this team goes, as RJ goes, this team goes. That's simply not the case right now. He's not the alpha on this team. The alpha on this team is Julius Randle. Okay. Now I do believe RJ Barrett is going to turn out to be a really good player. You know what I mean? But he's just not an alpha, and we're talking about building around this guy. You can't build around someone who's not going to be an alpha in this league. That's just the way. That's how I see it. Now, hold on. Wait, let him finish.
Let him go. Go ahead.
I mean, really?
Go ahead, Josh. Go ahead, Josh.
Let him finish.
Guys, listen. I'm not saying RJ Barrett is a bad player and he's going to be a bad player. I think he's going to be. Hold on.
Yo, Kev, let him go, Kev.
So RJ Barrett is not an alpha for this team as of yet. Can he turn out to be that player? Maybe. We'll see. But so far he has not shown that he could be an alpha for this team. Only reason why is because he can't do a lot of those things consistently, like Isaiah was talking about, like the defense, the rebounding. I'm not even talking about the scoring. I'm talking about stuff that alphas do, like that star players do. He's not there at that point yet. Can he turn out to be that player? We simply don't know yet. But we were talking about building around this guy as if he was going to be the alpha for this team, as if he was going to be the engine for this team, and it's simply not the case. And that's the truth. I mean, you guys disagree with that?
Do you know how hard it is to score 17 points against one of the best teams in the world? I
never said it was easy. I
want you to understand. So RJ Barrett, on a night where he was quiet, silent, scored 17 points on one of the best defensive teams in the league. He spinned off of a few players. RJ Barrett may not have the alpha you're looking for, Josh, but RJ Barrett, it has that dog in him, and he will be a star in this league. Josh,
thank you.
I never said he wouldn't.
Mark, I'm gonna give it right to you, bro. I know.
Yo, go ahead.
How quickly do we forget in this piece, man, that this kid, as soon as he got to the all-rookie team, went and drop points all over heads, surrounded by superior talent. I never saw him lose his fight. This is why I didn't want to say nothing about the topic of RJ Barrett, because I am not worried about RJ Barrett, because he dropped 17 on a quiet night. I saw him take the rock twice in a row to the hoop on a quiet night, like he didn't give a damn about passing it, because he's like, this is still my team. I'm going to score on this guy right now again. And he did it. I see alpha. Alpha does not mean that you are the top performing player night in, night out. That's
it doesn't? It doesn't? Really?
Mark, go ahead.
Let him finish. Hold on. And just let me add to you, Savvy, real quick. Even on a super quiet night, Josh, on a super quiet night, he still had double digits. On a night when he could not score, he could not put the ball in the hole, he went to the line and had 8 free throw attempts. On a night when he could not make a bucket, he still found a way to contribute. He had 10 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists on a night when he could not buy a bucket.
Tim, I'm acknowledging everything you guys are saying. I'm acknowledging all of that. I guess where we defer is what is an alpha? What is an alpha? What do you guys define as an alpha? As an engine that could
player. An alpha is a player who's willing to take matters into his own hand. The only reason RJ Barrett hasn't been able to do that is because we have Julius Randle on the
He's playing his spot.
See, that to me, that's counterproductive, right? Because alphas are alphas no matter who's on their team. Shaq didn't stop Kobe from being an alpha.
Year, Josh. Second year.
Right, and I'm saying,
wait,
run the system that Tom tells him to run. It's his
saying he's not there yet, guys. I'm just saying he's not there yet. He's not going to get there.
Go ahead, Mark.
All right. When, for example, when Russell Westbrook was playing with Kevin Durant, right? Did you think Kevin Durant is an alpha dog?
Yeah, hell yeah. Easily.
Right? But Russell took more shots than him. Right?
When the game was on the line, the ball can either be in Russell's hands or it could be in Katie's hands.
Let them finish, y'all. Let them finish.
My bad.
You can ask anyone. People will say Russell Westbrook is more of an outdog than Kevin Durant. True or false?
Yes.
True or false?
Russell Westbrook is way more of an alpha dog than Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant is not the alpha on Brooklyn right now.
On any team.
He is not the alpha on Brooklyn right now. It is Kyrie Irving all day long. And the alpha does not mean that you're the leading scorer. Alpha does not have to be the leading scorer. Kevin Durant is not the alpha on that team.
Kevin Durant don't have an alpha attitude, right? Because alpha is many different things. It's not just having this attitude. Because guess what? Russell Westbrook's attitude hurts his teams consistently. Right? When you play with a certain amount of attitude, sometimes you have to take your time and slow down. That's why when Kevin Durant played, people trust him because he played with a type of aggression that is good and is tempered. But he has an alpha game. RJ don't have an alpha attitude, but he plays like an alpha because just hold on. When Sim showed that chart, when RJ gets to the bucket, it's just that he's not finishing at the cup. He's getting fouls. He's getting to the line like 6 times a game. When he gets the ball, he's looking to either make his move or make a pass. When you watch him play, he plays in the flow of the offense, guy. Stop expecting the kid to just take 24-second dribble shot clocks and go one-on-one every time. That's not how he plays.
That's not what I'm saying.
Facts.
That's not what I'm saying.
I want to say one thing, Josh. So I want to say one thing.
Then I'm going to get to a phone call after this.
Okay. So, Josh, again, the Knicks played 66 games last year. We're in our 3rd game. So that means in the last year, we played 69 games. RJ Barrett has not had a full NBA season yet. He's 20 years old. I'm really trying to understand your definition of alpha, though, because I'm not going to lie, what Mark just said, to me, what you're trying to say is that you want this alpha dog that's going to come down, ISO every time. Yeah, I'm the man.
I never said anything like that.
I mean, what is an alpha dog to you? Because
okay, look, I'm going to explain it to you. Because there's a comment in the chat.
I'm just trying to understand that where, like Sim said, right? Yo, RJ Barrett had yesterday had one of his worst game. His worst game of his NBA career so far. And what did he still do? He still played defense the other night, still was rebounded, still was going to the line, still was trying to get teammates. I'm just trying to understand where his mentality is that he's not an alpha dog when he's not letting the scoring affect his game.
Let me explain it to you.
There's players that do that. I mean, we complain about Kevin Knox that if he don't score the ball, he don't do nothing.
Okay, first of all, you just agree with me. Isaiah, you just agree with me. I agree that he's only 19 or 20 years old and he's not there yet. We agree with each other. That's all I'm saying.
So don't use alpha. Don't use alpha. That was the wrong thing. Don't use alpha. He plays like an alpha. When you watch him play, he plays like an alpha.
So let me explain to you what I mean, because there's a comment in the chat that Stephanie E put out that's perfect. There's a difference between an alpha mentality and an alpha player. RJ Barrett may have an alpha mentality, but he's not an alpha player, meaning top dog on the team. He's not there yet. He's not there yet. That's the truth.
Josh, what does he have to do? What does he have to do?
Wait, hold on. Let me just clear it up. Tibbs is running the offense, right? It's just like he's running the offense that can help him. Just because you want to see him jack up 25 shots, That's what you want. No. That's what you want. Because I heard you the other weeks talking about he should score 25 every game. No, he does not.
If he wants to be an alpha.
Listen. Tim Duncan could have scored 28 his whole career, but he scored 20 points, right?
Draymond Green barely scores. Hold on, let me say something really quick. Draymond Green barely scores on the Golden State Warriors, but he was the alpha of the team. It doesn't. You don't need to be a scorer of a 25-point game to win a game.
Yo, Josh, you acting like a Dr. Chuck.
Let me get to the call, guys. Let me get to the call. Yeah, let me get to this call. Let me get to this call. Caller, you live.
Shout out to the chat. Yo, Black is time.
Black is time.
What's going on, man? How you feeling?
I'm good. Josh, you are wild. Let me tell you that real quick. But before I tell Josh why he's wild, I'm mad. I can't be in the video chat, man. I had to run online and get an Elfrid Payton jersey. And then I dressed up in my elf outfit, and then I couldn't get in, but it's all good. Josh,
I can get you in here. I can get you in here though, Tony. Just let me know.
All right. As soon as I'm done with this, letting Josh know how RJ is an alpha. And my comparison would be Jimmy Butler, because you would agree that Jimmy Butler is an alpha, yes?
Now he is, but at the beginning he wasn't.
Oh my God!
Okay,
he wasn't.
But listen to this. Here's the thing about Jimmy Butler, and this is what my argument was when I was saying we should go after him. It's his attitude. It's the way he plays hard. Every single play. He doesn't have to be the highest scoring player in the game or on his team. He doesn't care about that. You know what he cares about? Winning. Whatever it takes to win. That's who RJ is.
I agree. That's who RJ is. You know what I'm saying? The alpha does not have to be everybody always equates the leading scorer to the alpha, and that's not necessarily the truth. You know what I'm saying? That's when you really don't know who the alpha male guy is until you get into that locker room. That's when you know who the alpha is.
And Sim, you want to keep it 100, Sim? People might feel a type of way with us. Can we be honest? Was Carmelo Anthony an alpha dog?
Yeah, absolutely. Easily.
His mentality?
100%.
The way he's
not an alpha dog.
You know what though? It's hard to say.
Are y'all talking about leadership? Because that's totally different from being the alpha. If you're talking about galvanizing the players and all that and leadership, he might have lacked there, but alpha on the court, that was Melo.
Yeah, he was definitely an alpha on the court.
Let me
ain't scared to go get it. Alpha is a mentality.
The only reason why RJ Barrett isn't the alpha that we may look at in a general perspective is because he's in his second year and he's still.
That's all I'm saying.
He's still playing by the rules. Give out RJ Barrett until year 4 or 5. He's not allowing a Julius Randle or whomever to lead the team. He's going to take the ball and demand the ball whenever he chooses to. He's going to run the offense how he wants. Right now, he's still in year 2.
I agree with that.
He's basically.
I don't know if he's a guy who's going to demand the ball. He didn't seem like that kind of person.
Right, he's basically still going to be like, I don't want to.
I'm ready whenever you are.
I don't want to overstep anybody's role, so I'm going to play. We got a new coach. He has 3 coaches. RJ Barrett has had 3 coaches in less than a year. How can he be an alpha in this system? But is he an alpha player? Yes. He just hasn't been one in this system yet, but it's coming.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I was saying.
Can I say something 1 minute?
All right.
Can I say something 1 minute?
Yeah, go ahead. Then I want to move on to one other thing. Go ahead.
Yo, everybody hit them thumbs up. We trying to get the chat over to 1,000. We just running it up because I'm looking at the chat. We was up to 588. We going down. Hit them thumbs up, fellas. Run the chat up. Let's get it popping. Run it up.
Appreciate you, man.
Let's go.
Appreciate it. Let's talk about Frank Ntilikina, because Frank Ntilikina played well tonight, right? People were asking for Frank Ntilikina to get in and play. He did. Now, somehow, some way, Dennis Smith Jr. had a quad injury or whatever. I don't know if it's, a straight up quad injury or, they just wanted to clear out some clutter and give Tom Thibodeau less pressure of having to play someone. I don't think that there's any pressure at all. He's going to play who he wants to play because we talk about alphas. Tom Thibodeau is the alpha on the team.
He's not playing, Sam. He's not playing. He's the coach.
Josh, never mind, Josh. It totally went over your head, Josh. It totally went over your head. Calm down. It's not about him playing on the floor. But let's put it like this. You can have an alpha mentality too, where it's like, I'm the dude, I'm the guy. And if you don't like the way that I'm doing things, then we can move you tomorrow. That's what I'm talking about when you have that kind of alpha mentality, which Coach Fizdale did not have. But anyway, we'll get back to that. We'll get back to that later. Let's talk about Frank Ntilikina. 12 points tonight, 4-4 shooting from the 3-point line. Do you think that Frank Ntilikina? I'm coming to you first, Cornerstone, because I know. I'm coming to you first. Do you think that Frank Ntilikina has secured himself consistent minutes, or is it going to be loosey-goosey? Sometimes he does, sometimes he plays, sometimes he doesn't. I'm going to tell you one thing that I noticed that still is there in him, right? Frank Ntilikina, he got a little flexible. He got a little, loosey-goosey, like Clyde likes to say, with the dribble. After he made a couple of shots, he got a little loosey-goosey with it. Then he got a little bit too loosey-goosey and lost it, and they stole it, and they went down and got a fast break dunk. And the next play up, he didn't dribble the ball up. He gave it to Julius Randle or whoever he gave it to dribble the ball up, right? That's some of that is young kid, a young guy. Some of that is, I don't want the ball to be taken away from me again. So I better get the ball up. You know what I'm
Sam,
saying?
Can I ask you, do you think that it was more of Frank giving the ball up, or do you think it was Randle demanding the ball?
It could have been. It could have been. It could have been him demanding the ball, but I think I seen Tom Thibodeau yelling and screaming over on the sideline too. I don't know. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Because he was dribbling. He tried to do a spin, and I think it was Giannis plucked the joint and boop, 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 dunk.
You're right.
You know what I'm saying? And then the next play up, he was like,
let me get that thing up real quick.
Let me give it up. Hey, listen, I know what he feels like. I've done it before. Trust me. I've been in that situation. When I lose that jump, like, all right, let me let somebody else just handle the rock because, I'm messing up. But do you think that Frank has earned himself consistent minutes after tonight? Cornerstone, I'm starting with you.
Yes. No, I'm just kidding. I think Thibodeau now has a new option that he can go to now, and doesn't have to feel compelled. Even though they can do it, he doesn't have to feel compelled to use Burks and Barrett as the
backup point guards.
Yes. Yeah, he can use Frank now. I love the way Frank, was somewhat in control tonight. Mm-hmm. I'm glad he hit his shots. I just want his 2-point shots to fall, because he took some good shots from the 2-point range. They just didn't fall for him. And loved his defense as usual. And for a night, he finally shut up all these Frank haters, pretty much. He told them all to kick rocks. So that's the way I look at that. And you're still going to have people, say, it was just one game, or he still sucks. And, they're going to continue to bash him. But let him. He's playing on Madison Square Garden, the most famous arena, and getting a nice, nice salary and everything. life is good for him. He's good. That's all I got to say.
Hey, Sim, I wanted to say something.
Elfrid and Frank went out to dinner last night, and they was like, "Listen, this is what we doing tonight."
Exactly. Hold on, Isaiah, hold on 1 second. 1 second. We Sim, you talked about Elfrid staying after last night. Frank did the same thing.
Yeah. Exactly. Yep. Is that what you were about to say, Julio?
Yeah, Frank was with him. Frank was with him. It was about 5 of them out there, but I think putting in the work is going to equate to you having a successful game, and they did that. That was beautiful.
Yeah,
and
yeah, that's how you do it.
Again, we go back to what I'm almost done, Isaiah. We go back to culture changing. We never saw this with Fizdale. Thibodeau is bringing, a whole new way of thinking towards these guys, and I think they're taking it to heart. That's it.
All right, go ahead, big yellow bubble.
Oh my God, it's not yellow. It's orange.
Isaiah, you gotta respect me because I don't call you Bub. I call you Isaiah. So there you go.
Thank you. You're the only one on my list.
Okay.
All right. Nah. So you know what, Sam? I'll be real with you, man. I don't think it's a stretch to say that to me, this was Frank's most important game of his career so far. And the reason why I say this was the most important game was just the circumstances that he's gotten 60 seconds in a game, 2 minutes in a game. So he's literally played 3 minutes in 2 games. And, he's the point guard pretty much. He's the point guard or off guard coming off the bench after Elfrid Payton. And the pressure was on him to produce. I'm not going to lie to you, Sim. If he didn't produce this game, I would have just said, this is pretty much over for the kid. Yeah. In the sense of, you know what? Dennis McJean's not playing. Emmanuel Quickly's not playing. Austin Rivers not playing. Yo, Frank, this is you. You got to produce. You got to do what you have to do. And then tonight he did. He shot with confidence. Yeah, he got loosey. He got loosey goosey with the handle, man. I'm like, Frank, what are you doing, baby? But
hey, I'll take it though. I take it.
I liked it though. I liked it, but again, right? I Frank stepped up because to me this was really a make or break game. This was a game to me where he gained the trust of Tom Thibodeau, where it's like, yo, Frank, you can come in, okay, you can do this, you can move the ball, you can score. This was really an important game for Frank. Now, of course, the Frank haters gonna say it's just one game and blah 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 whatever. But listen, man, for this kid, for what he's been through, he needed this. He needed this more than anybody else on that court tonight. Elfrid Payton's going to be fine. At the end of the day, Elfrid Payton's going to have a job, regardless if it's here or in somewhere else. But Frank, he's young. There's a lot going on with him. So
I'm just laughing because yesterday everybody and their mama was like, Elfrid Payton don't deserve to be in the league. All of a sudden now he's gonna have a job no matter what.
Wait, that was Isaiah's take. That was not all of our take.
Okay, all right.
Man.
Right.
Listen, you trying to fit me with these people. Listen, I'm not the biggest fan of Elfrid Payton, but he's gonna still have a job because he's a serviceable point guard.
You start recording
He's gonna have a job. We all know that. But this is an important game for Frank, man.
Zay,
I will say this though, Sam. What I will never forget the most David Fizdale thing, and this was to me the definition of David Fizdale coaching tenure. And we all know that picture of us getting blown out by 40 points and him smiling. We all know that picture.
Right. Yeah, I remember.
And I think that was against the Bucks.
It might have been. Yeah, I think it might have been against the Bucks. Let me get to this phone call, and then I'm gonna get to you, Nate. All right. Big shout out to my man City for Real. He said, my guy at Alpha Wall Street got to sustain that play. Let's go. I always said that dude can ball, and when he's focused, let's go. Caller, you live, man. What's popping?
Yo, what's going on, son?
City for Real. What's popping with you, bro?
Oh,
I knew you was calling in today. We already knew you was calling in today. What's up, man?
Yeah, no, hey, real quick, I just want to say this, man. I want to say, first and foremost, I want to give a shout out to Kevin Knox, man. You know what I'm saying? He played good defense tonight. Although it wasn't you know what I mean? elite, but he played good defense tonight to where he altered some shots. Let's just get that out the way for sure.
Okay.
Like, you know. And then second, man, I just want to say the team shared the ball today. They shared the ball. I mean, we've been doing that. We've been doing that for sure, for ever since preseason or whatever. But, like, you know what I'm saying? The team, they shared the ball today. Guys knocked down shots. And I just want to give a shout-out to RJ because he bounced back after having a bad night. Like, you know what I mean? Although he wasn't spectacular tonight, but, like, you know, he showed that grit, that fight that we already know that he has in him. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
That's just one of those things that you can't coach, man. That's one of those things that's instilled in him to where, like, you know what I mean? If he have a bad game, whatever, he's going to come back the next night and still do the things that he need to do. And then last of all, of course, you know, I got to give a shout out to my guy, the Elf of Wall Street. Although I know everybody always hate me for it, but, like, you know what I mean? Hey, the guy we seen like, let's say this, we've seen the New Orleans Pelicans, Elfrid Payton tonight. That's what we saw tonight.
Okay. Hey,
hopefully a little bit more points.
Listen, hopefully he brings it every night. You know, he's not going to do it to the tune of 27 points, but, you know, hopefully he brings it more nights than not. You know, you mentioned the guys sharing the basketball. If you look at the shot attempts tonight, Randle had 17, Kevin Knox had 8, Mitchell Robinson had 6, Noel had 1 shot, Elfrid Payton had 16 shots, Alec Burks had 7, RJ Barrett had 17 shots, Reggie Bullock 5, Frank Ntilikina 6 shots. You know, the ball is being spread around. Different guys are shooting the basketball, and that's a good thing, right? That's always going to be good. Your guys, normally, instead of Elfrid Payton taking 16 shots, that would probably be Burks, right? But, you know, you're going to always have Randle, Barrett, and probably Burks be the guys who take the most shots. And then on any other night, it'd be, you know, somebody else who's hot, who's taking a lot of shots. And, you know, none of our guys are shooting 20 shots a game. 21, 22, 23 shots a game. You know, everyone's somewhere in the teens, and that's good. That means the ball is moving. Guys are sharing, figuring out who's going to get the shots. 27 assists on 46 shots tonight. You know, that's not bad. That's good.
Yo, can we do this too? Can we just say, can we give a shout out to Mitch for not fouling out and actually sticking in there and playing through everything and not getting in like foul trouble. Like, you know what I'm saying? He kind of was iffy, like, into the second quarter or whatever, or
he only ended up with 2 fouls.
Beginning of the third quarter.
Yeah, he only ended up with 2 fouls tonight. So
yeah. But they came back to like
get the feet on the ground,
back to back, but kind of like back to back or whatever. I can't remember if it was like second quarter or beginning of third or whatever. But anyways, like, let's give a shout out to that man for stepping it up and playing defense and not getting fouled out and not getting 3 fouls in the first quarter or whatever, like, you know what I mean? So shout out to that guy. Shout out to the team for doing their thing. Shout out to you for getting ready, for getting back on, man.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man.
To see you back on.
Yeah,
man.
I'm glad to be back on too, man. Appreciate it, City. Appreciate it. Talk to you later, man.
For sure. I'm going to jump back down in the comments. And
all right.
Yo, peace.
All right, peace. Let me give a couple of shout outs here before I get to another phone call. That was City for real, who hit me with a super chat. Big shout out to him. Rigo and Dino, thank you for becoming a member. Appreciate you. And those who are members, you can, you know, if you go to the members section, look at the post there, you should be able to find a link to be able to get into the chat. You know what I mean? So those who are members can get to the chat. Ghost Rider, thank you for the super chat. He said salute. He said if we can only get this Payton consistently, of course, if we can get this Payton consistently, we'll look a lot different. Well, we'll see. Mighty Knicks, he said trade Randle before it's too late. Of course, we knew that was coming. That's going to come about Alex Burks pretty soon as well. But like Julito said, I think it was Julito, that's a guy that we should keep. We can't always be looking to trade these guys for first-round draft picks. We got to find some guys to keep. We got to keep some talent at some point.
We got to have players on the team, Sam. We got to have players. We can't always look for a second-round draft pick. Come on, man.
Exactly. You got to keep these guys sometimes. Joshua O'Crane, he says, shout out to all the guys. Good win. Give them time and they do well. Burks is playing for a contract. Yeah, I mean, they all playing for contracts on this team. All of them playing for contracts. He said, I love how Bobby Portis bummed it up. Thank God. I mean, Bobby Portis is Bobby Portis. He'll be all right with them over there, I think. I think he's gonna get his. Julian Tran, he said KB averaged 18-7 on 45% shooting in his second year with us. The RJ haters need to STFU. Josh is not a hater.
Am I really an RJ hater? Like seriously, like.
Listen,
a couple games ago.
I mean, the way it is, a lot of times, if you say one thing bad about one player, you're a hater. I was a Mitch hater.
I didn't say anything bad about him, though.
You know what I'm saying? I was a KP hater.
Josh, at this point, I just think it's the way. It's not what you say, it's how you say it.
Yeah, that's true. That's mad true.
I don't know what it is.
And then Mighty Nick said, stop making excuses for RJ. Scream with you, Josh. He said Ja Morant took over the team on his first day.
Stop. Oh, my gosh. Hold on.
But no, we don't even got to get into it. We don't even got to get into it. It is what it is. Ja Morant is Ja Morant. RJ is RJ. All right. I'm going to get to a couple of phone calls, and I want to talk about this next game, the Knicks in Cleveland. All right. We'll talk about that. Caller, you live. What's popping?
What's going on?
What's going on, brother? How you feeling?
I'm good. It was a good game. Good game. Great game.
Yeah, man. Yeah. It was definitely a great game. Talk to us about it. How you feel? What talk to us about it.
I feel like our backcourt, we got to give them a standing ovation tonight. Alex Burks, Ntilikina, Payton, they ran that game tonight. Our backcourt ran that game. Our defense was better tonight from Philly, but I feel like tonight our backcourt ran it, and I got to give props to RJ Barrett. I know y'all saying, he's not a alpha, but that kid got heart. I feel like tonight, put all the basketball aside, put all the negative whatever. They played with pride tonight. It was not we're going to follow a system. They played like they had some goddamn sense tonight. Okay. And that's what I love to see.
Nah, for real. I mean, I like that. They played with some pride. They said, yo, we don't want to just throw the season away. We want to play. So, and they put themselves back in it at least a little bit because, you go down 0-3, things start to snowball. Right. You get that win, and now you play a team in Cleveland that you probably think you can beat. Things start to look a little bit different to you. You know what I mean? So,
right.
We'll see.
I feel like we had a tough first three games. I'm not gonna lie, we had a tough Indiana, we had Philly, and we got Milwaukee. And to be honest, I was thinking we would get all losses. To be honest, but I'm glad we pulled away. At least got one out of the two. And this is the start of something. Real talk. This is the start of something. Right. And I know the only problem tonight I really had was the turnovers. We had 15 turnovers, but I feel like we can get it down. It was not that bad. We can get it down. Kids going to talk about it tomorrow. But the second chance points, we got to work on that. I know late down in the third and fourth, we was giving away second chance points, letting them get back in the game. We got to turn it around. But our second half was damn near good as the first half. Swear to God, I thought, we a team of two halves. We're a team of two halves. We played good first half. Second half, we lose our heads. This game, we played even better in the second half, I feel. We played even better. And I got to give the team props tonight.
Oh, all right. Hey, no doubt. There's no doubt about it, man. I appreciate you, man. That was the big question. Can we come out and do the same thing in the second half? We did it tonight. We'll see if we can do it again Tuesday against Cleveland.
Tuesday,
Yeah.
we got
Appreciate
Cleveland,
you,
they
man.
pretty tough. They play hard, but I feel like this is the start of something. This is the start of something.
All right. That's good. That's good. I appreciate you, my man. Let's talk about Cleveland, fellas, and I'm going to get to another phone call shortly. Last year, we played Cleveland. We played them. How many times we played them last season? We played them.
I think 3 times.
We played them 4 times last year. Right? We lost the first game 108 to 87. The second game, we won 123 to 105. Then we beat them on January 28th, 106 to 86. And then we beat them on February 3rd, 139 to 134. I don't know how much any of that matters because it's 2 different teams right now. Right? We got different players. The Cleveland Cavaliers are 3-0 so far this season.
They just mollywopped the Sixers.
Yeah, they're 3-0 so far this season. And they're probably a team that's looking and saying, you know, everyone is counting us out. Everyone's put, you know, Vegas got us down at the bottom, you know, of the percentages to win the championship and everything. They just beat the 76ers 118 to 94. Right? What do you guys think we need to do to beat Cleveland? Isaiah, I'm going to start with you, Big Bubba. I'm going to start with you.
Oh, you said my name first. Thank you.
What I had to do is I had to make the cross connection so people understand that Isaiah is Big Bubba. So I had to say Isaiah and then Big Bubba. Yeah. Got to make the cross connection.
So seriously though, I think this is not, you know, a gimme game. I don't want Knicks fans to think like that's the Cavs. No, the Cavs are 3-0, and the Cavs just blew out the 76ers. So we have to respect the Cavs. They're playing good basketball right now. Like I said, we got to take them serious. We got to do what we've been. It's crazy, right? We got to do what we've been doing the first halves, and you got to do what we did in this second half in this game. We got to respect them, take them serious, play hard defense, get ball movement, get everybody involved like we had them in this game. You know, I think, and you know what's in. I remember last year we had these games where the Knicks would look really good, and they would revert back to what they'll do, like, you know, Payton would go ISO and all that other stuff. And I think this team is going to be a little different with Tom Thibodeau. He's gonna really get into these guys. Like, you know, we didn't listen to the press conference, but I'm going to assume that he was like, hey, there's still things we got to work on. We beat a good team, but, you know, they did this, and this, and we did this, and that. So the Knicks just have to be disciplined. Like I said, move the ball, get everybody involved how they did today, and take the Cavs serious. Respect them. So, and I think we can. I really do think we can pull it off. We just got to respect the Cavs and handle our business and play defense like we did tonight. We can't have a game where we play great defense against the Bucks and then play like doo-doo with the Cavs because we're not respecting them because they don't have a Giannis on that team or a Chris Middleton. We better treat them like they got a Chris Middleton or Giannis on that team. So that's what we got to do.
Right. I mean, we definitely hope that this can boil over to Cleveland. Let me get to the caller and find out what he thinks about this game, and then I'm going to come to Divine. Caller, you live, man. What's popping? What do you think about the Knicks versus Cleveland next game?
About the next game?
Yeah, the next game, Knicks versus Cleveland.
I think they're going to be straight. I think we're going to win that game easily. But I had one thing I wanted to say before I get off. I know you're busy and all that. It's been on my mind the whole time I've been here watching, and I don't mean to get off the subject, this and that, but I want to know, why do people think that we should trade Randle with the production that he's given us? Do we hope that Obi turns out to give us 20 and 10 a night? I mean, is that likely? The dude's about to turn 23 in 4 months. I think it's absurd that everybody thinks a guy making $18 million has to play decent or superb defense when he's giving us all this offense. I mean, I think for $18 million, he's a steal, but that's me. I don't know. I know anybody out there on the market scoring at least 20 points a game, 9 rebounds. We ain't going to find nobody for $20 million.
I mean, you're probably right. I mean, you're probably right. It's not going to be easy to find a guy for $20 million that's going to give you that kind of production. Now, he's got to show that he can do what he's doing right now consistently throughout the season. It's been 3 games, and he's been doing it, but he's got to do it throughout the season. And, I want to see what happens. We haven't been in a tight game. I want to see what happens when we get into a tight game. What's he look like then? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
What's he look like then?
Exactly. I don't think he's the number 1 guy. I think he's the number 2 guy. But I'm saying for you to get a guy like him on the market to want to come to New York, it's crazy as it is. I mean, who was the last player who chose to come to New York scoring over 20 points a game? Omari? Melo? I don't know. You tell me.
Well, I mean, listen, Randle is not scoring at those guys' clips, at least not right now in his career.
Oh, no.
Let's see what Randle is. Let's see what he does, how it goes for the rest of the season if he continues to play like this. But I get what you're saying. At some point, we gotta start to keep players, man. Hey, I appreciate the call. Let me see. Let's get to Divine. Let me get around to you, man. I'm coming to you, Nate. Let me get around to you. What do you think about this Knicks versus Cleveland game on Tuesday night? Divine, you there? There you go.
About the Knicks, I wouldn't take them for granted, but I think the key to me is they backcourt is not a defense backcourt. Garland and Sexton, they don't play no D, basically. So I think if Elfrid Payton or RJ or Bullock can contain them on the defense side, they got to come at them with the defense. I think they'll get them on. I think they'll get them on the offense side. So I'm hoping to see that the Knicks shut their guards down, because if you get Sexton going and Garland going, it's going to be a wrap to me. But I think from a defense standpoint, you shut them cats down a little bit and our guard do what they did tonight, I think we'd be all right from that standpoint for me.
Okay. I mean, Cleveland so far, let me see who they beat. They beat Charlotte, right? They beat Charlotte by a couple of points. The first night, they beat Charlotte 121-114. They beat, I forgot who else they beat. They beat Detroit, and then they just blew out Philadelphia. So that's where they are right now. Julito, what do you think?
Yeah, Cleveland, they're not a good team. They beat 2 G League teams, that is Detroit and Charlotte. Charlotte's just not good, and they lost Cody Zeller, so that's what it is. The only reason they beat the Sixers, and I'm not gonna, that was jokes the first half of what I'm saying. They're NBA team, so they doing what they're gonna do. They beat the Sixers because they had a big man. The only reason we didn't beat the Sixers is because RJ Barrett didn't shoot. I don't want to say well, he just didn't shoot it good at all. And we just didn't have, our big men's got embarrassed. You know what I'm saying? Now, I think the win from the Bucks is going to follow us over into Cleveland. And I think Mitch Robinson is going to have an amazing game. He learned from being embarrassed by Drummond. If y'all saw the videos, Drummond was babying him. He said to him in the video, "You a baby, you're fooled." Like, I think Mitch is gonna remember that, and I think because Noel, I'm nervous with Noel. Not gonna lie, I'm nervous with Noel. Dwight Howard embarrassed him, and I think tonight his production wasn't that great. I think he's an okay player, well enough to have a okay game against the second big man off the bench in Cleveland, who is Don Maker, I guess. I think we're gonna do well. We're gonna use this energy from the Bucks win, and we're gonna beat Cleveland.
I hope so. I hope so.
Not treating this. Yeah, this is a trap game, son. I mean, I understand what people are saying, that Cleveland, of course, the circumstances that they're 3-0, that they haven't played great teams, but we're still not.
He didn't even play tonight. Oh shit, that changes the game.
Oh yeah, he didn't play. He didn't. Yeah, that definitely changed the game. He didn't play tonight. I mean,
all right, so okay, they're 2-1. But you know what it is though, Sim? I just don't want the Knicks coming into this like, oh, it's just the Cavs. Like, nah, bro. At the end of the day, Andre Drummond still dominated Mitchell Robinson. We can still get dominated on the boards, and I just don't want the Knicks to fall asleep. Like, I don't want them to have a high energy game like this and then crap the bed and don't treat their opponent with respect. the next game because it's just the Cavs. Like,
right. I feel you, but
that's my big thing.
Yeah, I think that Tom Thibodeau will make sure that he'll have these guys thinking right, because I think he has them understanding that they don't have super duper talent. Not that they don't have talented players. He's not putting down their talent, but he's letting them know we don't have super duper stars, so we can't take anything for granted. Even a team like Cleveland, right? Because just like they just beat the Bucks, any team could beat anybody on any given night. You know what I'm saying? I think he understands that. And just like, everybody was calling for Elfrid Payton's head, and I kept asking people the other night, well, why does he keep Elfrid Payton in the game? Why does he keep playing Elfrid Payton? I think it's because Tom Thibodeau, if anybody, he's been in the league a long time, he understands that players are not going to play well, and sometimes you got to let them ride it out. Now, why is it not like that for every single player on the team? Well, because every single player on the team isn't as good as other players. So, sometimes some players are going to get a longer leash than others, But, Tom Thibodeau at least understands, hey, this is who I got. I'm going to ride it out. The one thing we've seen from Tom Thibodeau already, though, which is going to be good for this team, is consistency. And I think that's another reason why Payton was still starting today. It's just consistency in the lineups. That's one thing we didn't see under Fizdale and other coaches. Is consistency. We would see the starting lineup change every game. You know what I mean? Consistency means something. You start to build something when you have some kind of consistency out there. But Mark, talk to us about that Cleveland game.
Well, Embiid didn't play tonight, so I don't know where they was going to get their extra 28 points. That's why Cleveland won, because I watched that game. Charlotte is a really good team. Like the Knicks are a team right now. We have to take every game serious. We don't have that type of reputation to be talking like, yo, we can beat them. No, Cleveland could beat us because they two guards right now is chopping up the three teams that they play, and they play very, very good together.
Right.
They play very, very good together. So, and Andre Drummond is playing like a leader right now for that team. And the way Andre Drummond does us, we have to watch out for that, and we have to watch out for their guard play. Remember, the way the Knicks play defense is because we was playing against Giannis, and there's a way to stop Giannis' team, because you have the shooters and then you have Giannis. You stop the shooters and let Giannis play. That you can beat the Bucks that way. With Cleveland, they have guards that can penetrate, kick and score. They can play. They're playing good defense right now. So we don't take no team for a joke. Every NBA team could play, and they can knock us in the face. And one thing, Sim, is it's like the callers calling, talking about Julius Randle is the next big thing, bro. These dudes played a superb game. I don't think we would ever see this. And if we would ever, I have $100. I would have $100 on the table if we would ever see that game again, because that game you had Elfrid Payton scoring everywhere on the floor. Randle was almost a triple-double tonight. Everything just went well. The defense was good. Everything just went well tonight. Well-deserved. The consistency.
Well, to be honest with you, Julius Randle's been playing like that the entire season. He's averaging 23.
But what I'm saying, listen.
What I'm saying is, you're saying the caller was. You started off saying about Julius Randle. What I'm saying is the numbers that he put up tonight is basically what he's averaging for the season so far. It's only been 3 games, but it's basically what he's averaging for the season.
Hold on. You could put up numbers like that, but it was impactful tonight. He made the right leads, the right passes, and it was impactful because we was winning games. That's the difference of tonight. His points, whenever he was on the court. Hold on. He's been doing it. But you want to win with those numbers when someone is doing it, right?
Right. But you need other people to step up to help you win with those numbers. You're not going to just win with those numbers just because you get those numbers.
But what tonight, the way the ball was moving was predicated on him. The offense was fluent. It wasn't bogged down. It wasn't slowed down like I seen yesterday, like I seen the other game. So it was impactful tonight. So in that case, next game, we going with the same attitude defensively, because defense was going to turn our offense. That's what it was tonight. Our defense turned into offense. Steals, running the floor, getting to the buck, into the paint. So, don't take Cleveland. Got to take them serious. Got to take every team serious like that.
Yeah, the one thing that scares me about Cleveland is the size, though. That's the one thing that scares me because, like,
yeah, Knicks don't have size. Knicks don't have size.
Yeah, I mean, the Bucks have size, but it's a different kind of size than
They have
what
length. They have
They
length.
have length, exactly. They have length, but like Cleveland with Andre Drummond, Kevin Love, and those guys, they got girth, right? And you know, they can bounce us around a little bit, but you know, we'll see. We'll see what we do.
Sam, and don't forget, Sam, they got that kid. Listen, the Isaac Okoro kid. That kid's going to be special, man.
He's good.
You got that kid in the perimeter. And then, like you said, you got Jerome McGee.
Kevin Porter.
Oh yeah, they got Kevin. No. He might get arrested, so he's not playing.
Okay.
You got I mean, like you said, they got girth, man. They got Andre Drummond. They got Jerome McGee. They got Lance. What's that kid? The Lance kid.
Larry
Nance Jr.
They got athletic, girthy bigs, man. So, and to be honest with you, Mitchell Robinson, they're skinny, man. Mitchell Robinson and Noel are skinny.
I know.
So
they're small.
It's going to be tough.
Did you see how Noel looked going up against Embiid the other night? He was minuscule. I was like, shush, students. I mean, Embiid is huge. Nate, go ahead, man.
Yeah, man. It's very simple.
We lost.
Basically,
you know. There you go.
I guess it isn't simple.
Go ahead. We got you. You're back.
I mean, it's very simple. It's basically just being aggressive, being active on defense. I think Mitch has got to take it personal against Drummond. It's time for Mitch to get some nasty and get aggressive as a center. I want to see him more like in your face type of on the defensive end. Mm-hmm. I think that he did a good job today blocking some shots, staying on his feet. He looked really good. I want to see him transition that to a guy like Drummond, who's a very big guy, who's a very dominant rebounder. Mitch has got to play strong. He's got to play big. I mean, we know he's not the biggest guy in the world, but he's 7 foot. He's got a good wingspan. He's athletic as hell. He can make fits for Drummond. And then also too, it's going to come down to making shots. I mean, the Knicks aren't going to shoot 56% a clip every game, but I mean, they could shoot a good 45%, good 46%, hopefully 30 something from threes. We got to make open shots. I mean, if you look at the Knicks games, when we're hitting our shots, things look good. When we're not hitting our shots, it gets ugly. So, we got to hit those shots consistently. And because, Cleveland, their defense is not as like the Bucks defense. So you don't want to take advantage. You don't want to take that for granted, but you definitely know that they're not going to have all the world defenders on the other side. So the Knicks should have a good game offensively.
I hope so. I mean, right now, their defensive rating is 100.3. They seem to be playing decent or well defensively. The Cleveland Cavaliers, right? That's, top 2 in the league so far. Again, we're only 3 games in, but that's 2 in the league so far. They can rebound the basketball. I'm definitely not gonna take them guys lightly. Go ahead and you got to treat them like their team, because you just never know when people are gonna fit together, and at some point they're gonna, things are gonna click for them. They're averaging 122.3 points per game. Now they did play Charlotte and they played Detroit, so.
Well, you saw tonight a lot of teams that should have won lost. So it just shows you there's parity in this league, and no game should be taken for granted. You show up and you play hard. And that's one thing with this Tibbs team that I hope I'm right when I say this, is that they play hard. They show heart. They show grit. Even in games where they look like they're outmatched, they still play hard. And I hope that continues.
Yeah.
Well, real quick. Yo, we hit 600 in the chat.
Let's go.
Keep going. We hit up to 600. Keep it moving. Keep them thumbs up. Let's get over 700. Let's keep it moving. Hit the thumbs up in the chat, guys.
Appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. Oh, hold 1 second, Mark. I'll come to you right quick. Just looking at some numbers for Cleveland right now, they're shooting 51.3% from the field. They're shooting 43.3% from the 3-point line. They're averaging 31 assists per game. Right now, that leads the league. They're averaging 31 assists per game. They're also high in turnovers, though, at 18.7. But still, they're averaging 31 assists a game. That means that they're moving the basketball, right? They're keeping the ball moving. They're 31 assists on 47 shots. That's what they're averaging right now. You know, and so just like the Bucks had us moving, and we were moving. That's the one thing I'll give it. You know, in the first half, I was in a group chat and people were like, yo, you know, they're missing a lot of bunnies. A lot of bunnies are rimming out. Part of that is because when you're moving on defense, it takes a lot of energy to keep moving on defense and play consistent defense. And sometimes it can affect your offense when you're putting that kind of energy in the defense. But that's cool. That's okay. Right? They're going to have to do the same thing Tuesday night against Cleveland, you know, to come away with that win. You know what I mean? But
we got to rebound as a group too, Sim. That's another thing. We got to rebound as a group.
Yeah.
Sim, we didn't get caught on back doors tonight, and
We didn't.
Randall spots tonight. When Randall's in his spots in the rotation, it's going to help the Knicks defense because now when he's there, when he's there, Tom Thibodeau wants another person to come on the weak side. So once Randall plays like this, the team is just different. The team has a different step. Now people trust Randall for when he has the ball in his hand and he's doing things. If he plays like that, I would have no problem. I just don't like how he holds the ball. Just make quick plays and we'll be a bit better team.
Well, I mean, I think he's been doing that this season, to tell you the truth. So far, he's been doing that. He's, I mean, every once in a while, and that's going to happen with every player. Every once in a while, he holds the ball, or gets a shot or whatever. But you're seeing, he's consistent. He's consciously looking for other players. I seen one time tonight with Kevin Knox. He was telling Kevin Knox to do something, and then he told him to give him the ball. He got the ball back. He penetrated. Kevin Knox went to the other side of the floor, and he kicked it to him. He was trying to get Kevin Knox shots, right? And I was like, that's a real good thing. That's what you need him to do. The thing is, can he consistently do it all season long? Because mentally, you got to be there, right, to say, I can do this all season long without getting frustrated. If your team starts you hit a losing streak, do you start saying, all right, well, I got to do this instead of just continuing to do what you're doing,
Tim, when he was passing the ball up on a thing, he was, when he was given that same play, when he was giving the ball to Kevin Knox, he moved out the way. So when Kevin Knox drive, it opened the floor up for others. Before, Randall wasn't doing that. He wasn't spacing properly. When he would give up the ball, he would just stand there. And then that's when the defense on the other team would be able to stop the person that has the ball that's willing to drive. It was a lot of open plays that we had tonight. There was running Tom's Thibodeau system tonight, and they ran it effectively. They have to continue to keep doing that to make us look like a decent offensive team. That's why the court was open for us tonight.
Yeah, no doubt about it, man. Do you think, I'm going to ask you guys real quick, and then I'll get your last words for the night. Actually, let me get to the super chat. Brandon, thank you for the super chat. He said the dude who called in, he said that we're taking care of Cleveland easily. He said, that we're underestimating Cleveland. He said they just beat Philly. The Nets lost to Charlotte. He said it's early. So everybody just relax and calm down. Hey, I'm not calming down, though. I'm happy that the Knicks came away with a win tonight. I'm celebrating this win.
Yeah.
I'm celebrating that.
Right.
Philly without Joel Embiid is probably not even a 500 team.
That's true.
Let's
right. Right. That's definitely true. Jack Peters asks, what do you think about the heavy minutes for RJ and Randle? Can they handle that throughout the season? I think they'll both be okay. They're both built, like, their bodies are built strong. I think they'll be okay to handle those kind of minutes because they're both going to get those kind of minutes. That's how Tom Thibodeau is. He's going to play his guys that he thinks is going to get them wins, right? They both played crazy minutes tonight. RJ, I think 38, Randle 37 minutes tonight. They're going to play those minutes. You know what I'm saying? You might as well get used to it. But Randle on the season so far is averaging 23.7 points per game. He's shooting 55% from the field, 55% from three. I don't think that's going to remain, right? He's averaging 10 rebounds and 6 assists. I'm going to start with you, Isaiah. Do you think he can keep up these numbers? Even if the Knicks start to lose games, will he keep up these numbers and will he play the style of basketball that he's playing, even if the Knicks start to lose games?
My heart is telling me yes, but my mind is telling me no. Story of my life. No, so when it comes to Randle, I think he's definitely can average the 23. I think the assists will go down a little bit. Rebounding will stay the same. It's tough to because like I hate going over 3-game sample size because everybody looks good right now, in NBA. When it, like you said before, when it comes down to the crunch time minutes and when it comes to real situational games, because right now, if you think about it, literally these last 3 games have been like we haven't played close games; they've been blowouts.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really hard to judge players when it's basically blowout, and it's like you can't really go down to when it's like 3 minutes left in crunch time. You know what I'm saying? I think I think he's doing well with Tom Thibodeau, so I do say he will be able to maintain these numbers. I'm gonna overall say he's gonna be able to maintain these numbers to not to this degree that he's doing right now, but to a lesser degree.
It's now see that don't make sense, but I'll skip past it. I mean, you can't maintain these numbers to a lesser degree. I mean,
I'm sorry, I meant to say that.
But
I meant to say that the numbers will go down. Like I think he'll still average like the 23, 20. He'll be in that range. He'll have the 10 rebounds. I think the assists will go down to maybe about 4 assists a game. I think, or 4 to 5. So
I actually think his assists might stay up there because he would have had if guys start to knock down shots. I don't know. I think he had maybe 4 assists against Philadelphia. But if guys knocked down shots and we shot better from the 3-point line, he would have been up to 7, 8 assists. I actually think he might be able, if he continues to play the style of basketball, I actually think his assists may stay there. I think his points will actually go down, but his assists will stay there. Divine, what do you think, man?
Yeah, I think Julius Randle gonna do what he's doing. I got a feeling, me personally, Julius Randle gonna be in the All-Star game with Tom Thibodeau and Kenny Payne and Mike Woodson. He going to the All-Star game. Book it. Y'all heard me say. I know it's not, but y'all heard me say it on MBK. Julius Randle going to be an All-Star under Coach Tom Thibodeau, Mike Woodson, and Kenny Payne. The chat is almost up at 700. Keep it moving. But yeah, I'm good with that.
Okay. Sure. I know Mark don't want to hear that at all. And if Julius Randle was an All-Star, Mark is going to pull out his hair. I can tell you that right now. Mark is going to have a fit. If he's an All-Star, especially if Julius Randle is an All-Star and KP is still hurt, I don't even know what's going to happen to Mark.
Yeah. I like it, bro. But when you come with takes like that, like Max Kellerman, man, you're going to hurt our ratings on this show.
Listen to me. Book it. Listen. But check it out, though. This is not David Fizdale and Mike Miller. This is Tom Thibodeau. Julius Randle been doing 20 and 10 for the last 2 years. Mark my word, Julius Randle going to the All-Star game.
Oh, snap. All right. Julito, what do you think, man?
Book it, Mark.
I dig it. There's no All-Star game, but
I know, man. You know what I mean, man. I'm just saying.
What you're saying, bro. Listen, I don't care much for Julius Randle. I will be honest. I think he's a okay player. I think he's a good player. I just don't think he fits the system that we are running. And for me, honestly, personally, it's just about his attitude. Honestly, when I watch Julius Randle, it just seems like he has a really bad attitude at all times. He's never really smiling. Today was the first time where I saw him cheering on the players on the team when they do something well. That for me just didn't work for me. But is Julius Randle doing amazing right now? Yes. Is Julius Randle the reason why we won tonight and why we stayed in the game last game? Yes. So I'm not mad at Julius Randle. I'm able to take my personal opinion on the man and disconnect it from what I think about the team.
I gave him props tonight.
And Mark, we feel the same way about Randle. But when a person plays well, you gotta give him props.
Yeah, I just don't trust him like a game to game player like that.
Yeah.
He plays he plays his game, but I don't trust him like that to say, yo.
Listen, let me tell you, Mark, the reason why I feel a way about Julius Randle when it comes to playing in a game, I don't like the fact that he holds the ball until the very last second, then he dishes the ball.
That's my whole thing, bro. And we play with a whole bunch of rhythm players. And Sim, guess who's in my doghouse now? And it's the new Wayne Elton. That Bullock. I should have never apologized. I'm taking back my apology on Bullock. He's trash. He needs to get up out of here.
Yo, but he's going to stay in the starting lineup, though. He's going to stay in the starting lineup because Burks works better coming off the bench, I think.
We need offense on the bench.
I know.
This is the thing about Julius. We are a young team and we need to push the pace. We need to use the legs that we have, the energy we have, and we need to run. When Julius ran, I think just because of like it's a seniority kind of position that Julius has with the players, where when he says give me the ball, he's gonna run it up. And a person like Elfrid Payton, because for some reason Elfrid Payton just loves the life out of him. And when a person like Frank or DSJ gets the ball, they allow Julius to run the ball up. As you can see, when Quickly was the ball handler, Quickly did not look at Julius. He did not allow Julius Randle to take the ball from him. He ran the play. And when Quickly ran the play, the offense was fast-paced, young offense. And that's just my issue. I just don't want Julius Randle. We're not a great half-court team, so we don't need to set the plays up at half-court. We need to run and gun team. We need a 7 seconds or less offense, because that's how we're going to win games. And I think that's what we did tonight, and that's why we won.
That's how Payton shines, too.
All right. And who's that? Savvy? I don't see him on the screen.
Yeah,
I see Savvy.
He's right there.
I'm in the Zoom screen though.
Savvy's in the chat and the Prince is in the chat.
Yeah.
They're not on the screen though.
I don't see. Hold on. You know what? Let me see if I can get these guys on the screen and see what's going on.
Get the Prince. Prince like he's starving right now. Get the Prince.
Oh, Prince is here? Yeah. I want to hear from Prince.
Go ahead, Savvy. Go ahead, Savvy. Let me get you on the screen.
I was just gonna say, man, like point guard wise, I like the fact that each tentative point guard, if you want to say that, my three main point guard picks, Payton, Quickly, and Frank, they each have a connection to another player. Frank got that connection with RJ. Payton got that connection with Randle, and Quickly got that connection with Kev Knox. Quickly had such an impact on Kev Knox that Kev Knox looked like he still got a piece of that same attitude when Quickly's not in the game, right? Can't talk right now. So I don't know why, sorry. But what I would like to see going forward is the fact that we're going to make shrewd decisions with our tactical approach based on the strength of our floor set. That's why I made that comment in the end about Payton being good in transition. And then tonight he was kind of being really dope outside of like his bread and butter, while also still incorporating some of the things that he does well. From a point guard perspective, I saw this one maneuver. I think Frank dished it to RJ. RJ was like near the corner, almost baseline. And then he had to kind of ISO and the other guys, like every other player was on the opposite side of the court. I don't like passes like that because I feel like unless somebody makes a good cut, you kind of trap that guy to win on the ISO without having a good passing option to go to. I don't know what you guys feel about that, but that was one of the only times where I kind of cringed when Frank was handling the ball tonight. If we're going to throw one sort of thing in there, I want to give a shout out to not only Tom Thibodeau for his first win. I want to also
discover new world
to Mike Woodson. I want to say congratulations also to Mike Woodson, Kenny Payne, the rest of our coaching staff. Okay, and I want to see how watching what happened tonight from the bench impacts Obi and Quickly, because I know that I was lit, they must have been lit, and they must be eager to rejoin their teammates. I'm looking forward to seeing what kind of fire they're gonna bring to the floor. Mind you, guys, we did this tonight without being at full strength. We still got other players who have not even laced up for us yet, who could have an impact in some other way down the line. We have a long season ahead. Let's get it.
All right. Prince, let me get you unmuted so you can get in there. Go ahead, Prince.
Oscar speech.
Right. Shout out to chat, man. I love to see, we back in here thick. Like my boy Divine said, 700 in the chat. We got about 350 pounds in here. Let's get some more before the night is over. Sound like we talked last night, man. I am honestly, happy at the progression of our team. Like I said last night, we are really seeing Tom Thibodeau's thumbprint on these guys. I heard you guys talking about it earlier. We never heard nothing like this coming from a Fizdale regime, where you got guys like, this dedicated to stay after and, put up shots. Because again, who knows where it came from? Like you said, Sam, it could have came from social media. It could have came from, just the team. But, them guys felt like they owed something to coach. So they wanted to, perform for him. So we seen Frank come out and play lights out basketball, except for when he got a little irky jerky with the rock. But, he was confident, Frank. He, came in and played decent defense. And Julius, like you said, Sim, and I think you did that on purpose last night, bro. You put me, you got your receipts, so then you can, laugh at me, on tape. I see why you did that. Now, Divine, you see how you did that?
Hold on. I don't even know what you're talking about. I don't even know what you're talking about. What?
Hey, what is? Hey, he stopped the beat on me yesterday. Like, hey, y'all. The Prince, what did you say now? What did you say about Julius Randle? You don't like this play. But all facts, man. Like I said, this Julius, a lot of us might be eating, eating crow. If this guy keeps playing like this, and he is, like you said, if he can be consistent, even when we lose, and that is his mindset, that I am going to play this brand of basketball where I help these young guys learn to play the game, but I'm going to find mine when I can. You know what I'm saying? Because it seemed like in his spots, Julius got what he wanted tonight. There was nothing that I seen outside of a couple plays where he didn't get the shots that he wanted. So, like what we said, Sam, and like you said, somebody else spoke to this. Julius putting up 20 and 10, and what he's putting up, like, we can't complain about that, y'all. If he's playing this brand of basketball, we're gonna have to embrace him and just cheer him on.
Well, hopefully he continues. You know what I'm saying? I think the test is gonna be when you hit that 4 or 5 game losing streak. If it happens this season, you hit that 4 or 5 game losing streak, and tempers start to, get up. Is he gonna be like, you know what? I got to take it upon myself and try to score every bucket, right? And I'm no longer gonna, try to get everybody else involved. Or when, it's the last 3 minutes of the game and the game is tight, is he still going to trust his players? Is he still going to look for Alec Burks for open 3, right? Is he still going to hand the ball off to RJ and set the screen for him? Or is he going to take it upon himself? You know what I'm saying? I think that's going to be what we got to look for when we get into a tight game, because he should continue to do those things. Because if he continues to do those things, it will open up for him when it's time for it to open up for him. But if he starts to get selfish, like, no, I got to do this on my own, then it's going to be, is going to kill everything. Unless he's just having a super hot night, that's one thing. But on a regular, to make it a standard thing, it should be that, you continue to play the same way that got you there is what you got to continue to do. That's what I'm looking to see. So far, every game's been a double-digit game, and we haven't really been able to see it. So, Nate, last thing, Nate, then I'm heading up out of here for the night. Go ahead, Nate.
Yeah, so something that just came to my mind. Something that just came to my mind is that I think one of the reasons why Julius maybe wasn't, I mean, he scored points. I mean, the guy can score. We know that. He's averaged a 20-10 almost his whole career. But were they impactful? That's the question. And this game, he was impactful by getting other players involved. But something that just came to my mind is that there was Morris on the team last year. So Morris was more of the leader and amongst all the kids. Julius, outside of Burks, is kind of the elder statesman on this team. Everybody else is 25 or 23 and younger. And so I could see Julius taking this more of a leadership role and being the best player on the team because he knows he has to, because there's not a Morris to lean on. There's just him and the young guys. And this is where he can be the quasi go-to guy in a sense until RJ kind of steps into that role.
But see, that's where I think he doesn't have to try to be the go-to guy. I think he has to continue doing what he's doing, and there's going to be moments when he still gets his buckets in those moments. But when you try to do something and you try to be the go-to guy, that's when he's going to get in trouble, I think. Just let the game come to him like he's doing.
Right, exactly. And when I say go-to guy, I mean like the guy that, you know, is looked to be the guy that's going to lead the team. Maybe not from a point standpoint, but just from a leadership value. And we've seen that from Julius this year, that he has taken more of a leadership role with this young team. And yeah, I mean, when the game's on the line, I mean, you're going to probably want the ball in his hands because he is one of the better scorers we have on this team, whether you like it or not. It's the truth. Well, you know, I don't know if I don't know who to trust outside of him.
I mean, of course, on this team is like that, but you know, we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it continues. All right, let me get some last words, man. 30 seconds from everybody. Last words. I'm gonna start with you, Prince. Then I'm gonna head up out of here. Go ahead, Prince, man. Just some last words for the night. I do want to remind everybody, tomorrow, 3:30, I'll be doing Knicks Weekly, so you can join me. We're going to break down the week and, you know, everything that happened during the week, the last week, and we'll take a look at the upcoming week. So that should be fun. It should be dope. Go ahead, Prince.
All right, man. Like I said, this was a great show, Sim. Welcome back, man. You know what I'm saying? Nothing but great things from MBK coming soon. One thing to the chat, hey, if you can, shout out where y'all from. So, you know, Sim can, you know, give y'all shout outs, and, you know, us, the other moderators and people in the chat can, you know, definitely know where we all Knicks fans are coming from. Look forward to us, you know, continuing what we did tonight, Sim. Continue to share the ball. Let's play a great brand of defense. Hopefully Tom Thibodeau unleashes Frank Ntilikina on them two guards down there in Cleveland, because again, if we can stop that, you know, we can just pick our poison with Drummond if he comes back tomorrow. So look forward to seeing just a good basketball game tomorrow, man, and or not tomorrow, Tuesday. Mm-hmm. And you know, we'll be back hopefully all chipper and talking crazy Tuesday night, brother.
All right, appreciate it. Big Bubba. I see people. Hold on, before you even go, Big Yellow Bubba. I see we got people. I see we got people. Though, well, we got Minneapolis, Toronto so far. Let me see who we got: Strong Island, Hempstead, Greenpoint. We got people from all over. Fort Lauderdale, Minnesota. Got people from all over, man. That's what's up. Texas in the building, North Carolina. Of course, I'm in Maryland right now.
Shout out Hempstead, shout out Fort Lauderdale for sure.
Big Bubba, man, Bronx, Queens. Big Bubba, go ahead, man. Oh yeah, and Big Bubba's from Connecticut.
I like how you gotta put that out there. Shout out to Connecticut, man. You already
living next door to Kniff.
H-Town in the house. Ottawa, Canada. Okay, Ottawa's in the house.
Wash Heights, fam. That's where I was born and raised, 173rd, Wash Heights.
Shout out to New Haven, man. Shout out to, you know, Hartford. Shout out to everybody, Connecticut, man. You know how we do. Great win. At the end of the day, man, great win tonight. I'm glad to share with my brothers. Shout out to Divine. Shout out to the Prince. Shout out to Sadney. Shout out to Julia Haluto.
Julito.
Damn, son.
Don't worry, he can't read Julito. He can't read. We work with him.
Yeah,
we've been working with him, man.
Let me cook some food.
That's stupid, man. I can read.
Don't make no empanadas. You can't say Julito.
You got me there. But, shout out to everybody. That was funny. Shout out to Gabo, man. Shout out to Mark, man. Appreciate all my brothers, man. Great Knicks win tonight, man. Big win. Great defense. Like I said, man, let's keep the energy going. Let's keep the energy going for Tuesday. Let's not let up. And I will be making the empanadas, man. We ain't stop with cooking with Chef Zay. Just the season going on. But when we get a chance, we gonna work, y'all. Don't worry.
That's what's up.
Yeah. Divine, man. Go ahead, man.
Yo, what a great night for the chat. The chat was popping off. It was all good. Y'all brothers, we had a great show tonight. It was all good. Knicks had a good win. Let's take the same momentum into Tuesday, shut these cats down, and we got a 4-game road trip coming up. So, but you know what? It was live and popping in the chat tonight. That's what I like to see and hear. Y'all brothers are strong up in here. Keep it moving. Hope Tuesday we're gonna go for 1,000. We're gonna get this thing popping. Peace to the chat. I love you, brothers. It's all good.
No doubt.
Yes, sir.
Julito?
Yes, sir.
Oh man, again, welcome back, Sim. Thank you for having me again. Shout out to the chat. Likes up, thumbs up, all of that. The rest of the panel, the moderators, always a pleasure talking shop with y'all fellas. I just think the Knicks are on the up and up. As long as we play well, as long as we defend, I think that the sky is the limit. I didn't overreact after the first 2 games. I knew it was just the first 2 games of a new coaching system, a new organization, essentially, a whole new front office, all of that. It's going to take some time, but we here and we back. I just think Elfrid needs to be consistent. I think Quickly is coming back Tuesday, I believe. So either if he comes off the bench, he needs to turn up, and Elfrid just needs to keep the consistency going. I'm not a Julius fan by any means, but I appreciate what he's doing for the team. Let's get him out of here for a 2nd-round pick. Now I'm playing some.
Only a 2nd round?
Second round?
I'm playing. But yo, let's get it. Let's get this win. Let's go 2-2 for the first 4 games.
Yeah.
And let's show people that we are the Knicks and we are not the same team that you've been watching for the last 10 years. We a different team. And check out my podcast, Random Thoughts with Julito, the podcast right now. And I appreciate you, Sim. And let's get it. Nothing but Knicks. Run them lights up.
No doubt. I just put the link in the YouTube chat so y'all can go check it out, and it's in the description of the video. So make sure you go check it out. Random Thoughts with Julito, man.
Hold on. But if I do a plug, I'm wrong. If I do the plug, I'm wrong.
Because nobody wants to hear your plug, man. That's the reason.
Hey, run them lights up for Chef Zay. Run them lights up for the empanadas, bro.
Thank you. Thank you, man.
Savvy, go ahead, man.
Knicks fam, hold out. Because we got games to play. Mitchell Robinson, don't let that man bully you. All of y'all watch your health because it's wealth. Check your dental, check yourself. We'll be back on the front stoop soon enough. And I know Julito be getting loose for Sunday brunches.
Yeah, man.
On IG. Don't forget to plug that one too now.
Oh, yeah. R&B After Hours. I'll be DJing on my live.
Oh, word? Okay.
Because I love me some R&B. Sorry,
every Saturday, 2 p.m. Nothing but R&B on my Instagram live. I am Julito.
That's what's up.
If you like R&B.
Yeah, man. 2 a.m., man. You know what's going on around that time.
Nah, 2 p.m. 2 p.m.
Oh.
Nah, Zay. I used to do R&B After Hours where I would start at 10 p.m. and go until like 2 a.m. But I got, I'm working on a new show right now, so I can't do that. So I changed it to the brunch edition where we go at 2 p.m. every Saturday. So check it out.
What's up? All right.
It's good to be alive and well, folks.
No doubt. And Nate, finish it off, man.
Yeah, man. Like I said before, culture building win. I mean, first win for Tibbs, first win for this young team. This team needs to taste winning. I mean, winning cures all. And if you want to attract big dogs to come play in the Garden, you got to win. So let's just keep it up, keep it going, keep the good faith. Sim, as always, your show's great. I'm glad to be on it. I'm glad to be on with all these crazy people, even Zay.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. And ladies and gentlemen, remember, tomorrow at 3:30, ladies and gentlemen, we are doing Knicks Weekly tomorrow. So make sure you check us out tomorrow at 3:30 as we break down everything that happened last week and look forward to what's going to happen next week. All right, so make sure.
Daily news. I hope they put us on the front page and let everybody know we beat the Bucks, the #1 team in the East.
Exactly.
By 20 points.
Nah, the Jets are going to be on there.
Make sure y'all show us love. All right,
No doubt. No doubt. We out of here, ladies and gentlemen. Be peaceful. Catch us tomorrow night. Or tomorrow, 3:30. Not tomorrow night. Tomorrow, 3:30. I'm out of here. Peace.